G'day and welcome back. Well, we are now comfortably in Canada, having recently crossed the border from USA well before our visa ran out. This means two things. One is we need to sell the RV, the motorbike, the trailer, and also my guitar. It also means that we are going to Banff. Banff has been very high on our to-do list throughout this entire RV trip. It sits at the top of the Rocky Mountains and is the last of the national parks that we were to visit, and is a national park that could give any national park a run for its money.
Okay, so we're entering Banff National Park. We've got to pay $10.50 per person per day for 3 nights.
We're going through to Jasper. Is there another park entry for Jasper?
There's another set of gates, but this pass will get you through Jasper.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you. Wow.
Love your ticket booth.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
From the moment you enter Banff, and even from before, the countryside becomes startling, and it only gets better the deeper you get into it.
Turn left, then you will arrive at your destination.
Tunnel Mountain Village 2. Woo, B54. Oh, yeah, so we've arrived at Banff.
The weather is beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a bit cooler than yesterday. We got a bit sunburned. We passed through all the smoke. We're up a little bit higher, and we're looking for a campsite B54. And we've just done a dump and filled up with water.
Oh, it looks cold because I've got a scarf on, but it's kind of mild. We're here at Banff National Park, and we've got ourselves a park up near Tunnel Mountain in the Tunnel Mountain 2 car park, and the surroundings are pretty damn special. We've got mountains right around us, pretty steep, and just touches snow on them, just enough to make it look beautiful but not enough to make it look cold. And then over there's Zoe, our 31-foot RV, and of course a motorcycle which we're about to hop on and go for a ride. So, as seemed to be the trend, we would set up camp, unload the motorbike, and find our way to our first destination. In this case, a trip back through Banff Township and out to Lake Louise. Personally, we could not find a better way to travel. Yep, sure, occasionally you would get beaten up by the weather, but all in all, throughout our entire trip, we'd been pretty lucky to get on a motorbike and ride through national parks, through cities, through towns that we'd never been to before, to have 360 panoramic views, to have the smell of the air and the feel of the warmth and the cold as the wind blew past us, as we courageously rode the bike through unmapped territory. For us was just a beautiful way to travel.
Lake Louise, I've wanted to come here for a long time. It is rainy tonight, but it doesn't matter.
And you learn very, very quickly in Banff that this part of the world certainly has no shortage of wildlife. Banff has so much wildlife, in fact, that the main highway that runs from Banff through to Jasper is completely fenced off because there's a very high chance otherwise that you would have animal strikes. And to compensate for that, appropriately, the parks have built overpasses so the animals can cross over. Today we're going to have a look at Johnston Canyon. Nothing too new, but for a lot of you, it's definitely new for us. So Cindy, what sort of noise does a chipmunk make?
Didn't think I was going to see snow here. That's definitely snow.
Johnston Canyon is certainly a highlight of Banff. This track is exceptionally clean, marked out exceptionally well, and has stunning views throughout the entire track. We only made it up through to the first and then the second falls. However, you can go quite a bit further if you want to. This one is Upper Falls. So is the trip to the Upper Falls worth the journey to Banff here? And yes, you could be forgiven for thinking we have a drinking problem, but in reality, we're just rewarding ourselves for making it to our destination. We found a bear in the woods.
Oh, we found a bear.
We found a bear in the woods. A very dangerous bear too.
Yeah.
It would be fair to say, however, that after having a beer or two, we do tend to look at things a little bit differently. So Cindy, when we're done with all this hiking and biking and RVing and drinking and
less showers,
Yep.
you know, sort of the, what are they called?
dealing with the poo in the toilet, endless national parks or provincial parks in Canada,
Oh, and dust and wind on the face and sun and
riding horses and what are you going to do, Sim? What's the first thing you're going to do?
well, I really like to get a facial and a massage, especially around the hip area would be good. I like to get the waxing, and I'd like to get eyebrows, and I'm due to get the hair done again. I just feel like a bit of a fresh up, I think, in the next couple of weeks. What about you, Al?
I'm going to get a job.
Oh no, I'm not getting one of those.
because
Not for a while. We're going to recover first.
Because by the time we get past all of this, we will be broke.
What do you want?
And having now returned from our journey, we thought best that we go and have some lunch. So I'm about to do something very Canadian and have a bit of a munch out on what is this that I'm about to eat?
You're eating a poutine. So it's French fries with cheese curds and house cream.
Wow.
I know.
Now somebody called it poutine.
It's poutine is like the Canadian, but in Montreal French it's poutine.
And is this going to be damaging to my health?
Yeah, a little bit, like a lot.
And after a big walk and a big meal, we couldn't think of anything better to do than to drive to the closest hot springs.
So this is the Banff hot springs. We're just about to go in and have a nice relaxing swim after our 5-kilometre walk. Beautiful.
From the village centre of Banff, there's certainly no shortage of short rides or walks that you can do to keep yourself occupied. This one shot up to what would have been a ski field, but of course we were well past the ski season. But a really good opportunity to go for a ride up a mountain and have a look at some startling views of Banff from the top.
And this is Bow River. Very picturesque.
The river that runs through Banff is Bow River, and appropriately it is accompanied by a stunning little market once a week. The next day we thought we might go for yet another ride and go and have a look at some lakes. So we were told that there were a few lakes in Banff. Lake Louise, which we've already seen, Lake Minnewanka, Lake Johnson. So we've gone on a bit of a tour, and the first one we've come across is Lake Johnson. And this one is
TJ.
So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I decided I'd come for a wander because it's our last day in Banff. We've got to get out of here by 11 o'clock in the morning. The motorcycle has been sold, so it's getting delivered up to a gentleman halfway between here and Calgary. And from there we are going to go stay at a brewery tonight. The van has been sold already as well, and those people are going to organise payment. It takes about 3 working days for payment to go through, which is a bit of a pain in the proverbial, but it's got to go into a Melbourne bank account. The view from where I am at the moment is pretty nice, to say the least. The clouds are hanging around the mountains, and I've found a place called the Hoodoos. I think it's the Hoodoos. It's not the Hoodoo Gurus. And it's got a scenic lookout up over the river, which looks down between 2 mountains, one of them being Tunnel Mountain, I think, and some other mountain. And then between those, you can actually see Banff.
So we're in the Kanaskas Country National Park, and we're slowly climbing. We're hoping to find a bear and a moose. I'm pretty sure that's Mount Ellen in front of us there. Yeah, that's Mount Ellen, just there. There's some deer up there. Hello.
This would be our final night in our RV, and it would also be our final harvest host, and we could not have found a better place. This fine lady owned this brewery, and she certainly knew the ingredients for having a good time.
So we just did and I'll share this with you if you don't mind, we just did a trip around America. We left on November 1st. We left Australia on August 1st. So we've been kicking around for a little while, long enough to really appreciate what Canada and America has to offer.
Yay!
But unfortunately, we've come close to the end of our journey, and that means we've got to sell our RV, we've got to sell our motorbike, and we've got to sell our bike trailer. Would you believe it? They've all sold within a week.
Yeah.
So they're gone. But now I've got to sell my guitar.
Oh no!
Anything over 100 you're in. We're at 102 at the moment. But guys, if it doesn't sell, that's no big deal. But I'm putting it out there. It's already got to 102, so it's on the silent bidding. And I feel like it would be a bit rude to sell this guitar without giving you a little bit of a feel on what it sounds like.
Oh yeah!
Anyone knows the words?
Just a little bit.
And this brings to an end the very, very last harvest host and very, very last night's accommodation in our van Zoe. This one, of course, being at the Hard Knocks Brewery, where we feel like we've nearly become a local. Thank you, Zoe, for your efforts. You've been a very, very reliable little van, and we will miss you dearly as we deliver you to Calgary.
Oh, and this is Calgary. Bye bike. Goodbye. Bye bye. Hooroo. Auf Wiedersehen.
Pretty beautiful.
It's the first time I really don't like
So it's the 29th of May. Where are we? Alberta, Canada.
Hi, River.
Hi,
Hi, River. Hi, River.
Hi, River.
And we are about to say goodbye to a very good friend of ours, our 31-foot RV, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Hell, here, I thought you would say our very good friend Martin and Elaine.
Yeah. And
How are you?
newfound friends.
Luckily, we've made some new friends,
Yay!
Martin and Elaine. Yeah, so look, Zoe's been really good to us, so we're going to shed a tear on the way out.
Yeah.
But we know it's in good hands.
Yes.
Martin and Elaine, thank you for
Thank you.
having a few beers with us
Yeah.
and
we enjoyed that.
everything too.
If we lived here, we'd be having drinks every Friday night.
Every Friday.
And Wednesday, Tuesday, and Saturday.
Yeah, probably every day.
Yeah, why not, eh?
So you take care, guys. You know what my favourite part of this trip was, Cindy?